What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Right, soldiers. This one battle is all it will take to drive the Imperial Army out of our Federation. Our goal here is total victory, and I want every single one of you to come out alive and share the glory with us. That is all.
Not to sound modest or whatever, but I really suck at speeches. It'd be nice if Raphael could just write him and read him out for me, but that's the exact kind of time that it starts pretending not to hear me. I tried my best to convey my message in my own words, and surprisingly, the Magic Born seemed to accept it. From what I heard later, it received praise from both the old guard and newer, Magic Born, in their army.
Yeah, Sir Rimuru's speech was amazing.
I can die now. I've got no regrets left in life.
You idiot. Dying means you've been killed.
They told me this was the talk around the army later, but I wasn't aware at the time, so I just took all those silent rows of troops and teleported them to the ground floor. Well, things were pretty darn lonely down here again. Xian and Diablo were out fighting this time, so it was only Benimaru and me now.
We can win, right?
No problems there. No, I didn't see any movements from the Imperial soldiers, but there's a flurry of activity among the leadership, it looks like. That straggler Krishna must have reported on events in the labyrinth. If I were them, and he told me he was the only survivor, I'd be out of there in a hurry. Well, I wouldn't put us in this situation in the first place, but you understand what I mean.
His classic fearless smile was on his face. I had to agree with him. Being out of contact with my people gets me nervous enough as it is, so I probably wouldn't let it happen unless we came up with some countermeasures. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this plan of ours to be nearly as successful as it turned out to be.
No matter what it is, it never pays to be greedy, huh?
Indeed. War and looting go hand in hand, but it's forbidden in our military, at least.
Excellent. In war, the side to lose their composure first usually loses, but once your desires get stoked a little bit, it's easy to get too heated up. We took advantage of that habit in this campaign, and it worked scarily well. It's a good lesson for us, too, better not fall in the same trap they did. We were on our way back to the control center, discussing this, when a possibility occurred to me.
Hey, you and I are the only ones here, right?
Yes.
Well, if there happened to be any enemies still hiding in the labyrinth, they'd never let an opportunity like this go to waste, would they? What do you think of that?
Oh, come now. There's no way anyone could time a move so precisely like that.
Yeah, I was getting too suspicious. Even Raphael had signed off on the labyrinth's current safety. Being paranoid all day would accomplish nothing, so I decided to leave the thought at that. Continually dredging up the same thoughts in your mind is a great way to make yourself anxious, after all. But I just had a bad feeling for a little while. Like, it's not that I doubt Raphael. I just couldn't help but wonder if it overlooked something.
Understood. All potentially suspicious subjects have been identified.
Yeah, that I trust in. But what if it's someone I know really well? Like Ellen's gang, for example. I trust all of them, so if they ever betrayed me, I'd suffer a whole lot for it. But these were still all just what-ifs. There was absolutely no reason for Ellen and her friends to turn traitor. We'd built up a lot of trust in each other by then. I could firmly say that they were perfectly fine. But how could we assume that the same's true for everybody else, too? I knew my staff officers were fine. Folks like Mjolmile were cutting out sleep to give their all for me. There was no way I could start doubting him. Apart from them, I supposed there were the people I'd gotten to know outside my own government, the assorted visitors who'd come to stay with us since the Founders Festival. For example,
Rimuru.
I saw a group of people coming from Labyrinth City. Oh, no way. The guy waving up front was Masayuki, someone I knew well, and he had two others with him, a warrior and a wizard. Jinrai and Bernie, right? I think those were their names. Those two still kinda held a grudge against me, so we hadn't talked much.
I sincerely doubt it, but you don't think Masayuki might start targeting me, do you?
Oh, no. That's really worrying too much, I would say.
Yeah.
Benimaru dismissed the concern. I sure didn't want to start suspecting Masayuki. And by the way, hadn't Gadra mentioned that Masayuki was the spitting image of Emperor Rudra or something? Nah, it had to just be a goofy coincidence.
Understood. After careful examination of the Empire's history and other assorted elements, the chances of the subject Masayuki and Emperor Rudra being the same person are 0%.
Right, of course. Feeling a bit relieved, I called out to the guy.
Hey, Masayuki, something up?
Something up? Kind of a lot, man. You naming me an army leader out of nowhere has given me a ton of trouble. Even the vampires were asking me if they could temporarily join in. I don't even know what to do with them. And there's just been a huge amount of activity down here, Everyone in the city's starting to ask what's going on.
Having so many volunteers at once, Masayuki explained, made it hard to deal with them in any organized fashion. And us sending out an army like I just did must have made all those volunteers clamor for some action of their own. I didn't think he was exaggerating at all. The disheartened look on his face told me that much. Plus, if Masayuki was trying to trick me, Raphael would have warned me about it long ago. So no point doubting him.
Well, most of the volunteers are still staying in the towns they live in, right?
Yes, but
the city of Rimuru, formerly on the surface, was now evacuated to the dungeon's provisionary floor 101. The sun and stars were as visible as always down there, so a lot of people were surprisingly oblivious to current events. The war was already underway, but some citizens must have thought we were still in a standoff at some distant vista. The 20,000 members of the volunteer army were entrusted with maintaining security in the city during this state of emergency, but thanks to the pervading calm across floor 101, they didn't have much to do. Masayuki himself, however, was still real busy, it looked like. His main problem at the moment had to do with the researchers living in Labyrinth City. They were primarily meant to be office staff, but most of the people Rumina's sent were calamity-grade threats in a fight. Overcomers was the term for them, apparently, but they all had a lot of free time on their hands. Many had come to directly speak with Masayuki to see if they could get a little action in this war, like it was some kind of fun carnival. Bacchus, sent in from the Crusaders, and Jiwoo, one of Masayuki's old party companions, were currently soothing them over, he said, but they couldn't keep them under control forever, so he was begging me to do something about it. Maybe, the paranoid part of my mind told me, they were trying to instigate Masayuki into starting some big commotion so they could come after me. It was possible, but if so, I really thought they would have taken action earlier. That possibility didn't seem too likely, either. I really am thinking too much. Deep breath.
That sure does sound rough.
Yeah, doesn't it? So please, lend us a hand here.
Don't worry. This war's gonna be over real soon, so just keep giving him the runaround until then, okay?
No, you can't just make it sound easy like that, Rimuru.
Masayuki kept complaining, a hangdog look on his face. But nobody should underestimate my ability to ignore serious problems tossed in my lap. This sounded like a lot of trouble, and I just didn't have the time to get involved. All this paranoid doubting had tired me out, and I really wanted to get back to my control center. Then Shuna could pour me some tea, maybe prepare a slice of delicious cake, and all would be well.
You're trying to run from me, aren't you, Rimuru?
Ha ha ha.
Don't ha me.
Okay, maybe this was a pointless argument, but I was demonstrating a masterclass on giving people the runaround. Masayuki should really learn from this so he can reach my own lofty heights. That was what I was hoping for, and that was why I was currently shoving him away from me.
If that's your only business, I need to get back, alright?
You're positive the war's going to end soon?
I'm hoping to wrap it up today, actually.
Well, we haven't done anything, so it hardly even seems real at all, but now you're really fighting.
I could empathize with that. That's kind of my ideal, not letting the general public know at all.
Pretty much, yeah, so take it easy, okay?
With a grin, I did my best to convince Masayuki to see things my way. That ought to solve the problem. Now to duck back inside and enjoy some strawberry shortcake.
Whoa, wait a sec. Masayuki's looking out for you, so I've been holding back. But we haven't given up on defeating you, alright? And now you're forgetting all about that and trying to take advantage of him? What kind of a joke is this?
Just when I thought the problem was solved, a new one arose. Jinrai, a man I assumed was just along for the ride with Masayuki, chose this moment to pipe up.
Ah, come on, that was just a misunderstanding. Take advantage of you? There's no need to make it sound so disgraceful.
I attempted to make excuses but wasn't doing a good job at it. I was trying to take advantage of him, after all. But then I received some unexpected backup.
Jinrai, that's out of order. Rimuru's working so hard for everybody in town right now.
Now Masayuki was trying to appease Jinrai. Thanks, man. I'll let you have some cake later. And as I flashed him a grateful smile, Jinrai immediately stopped complaining. I'm sure he wasn't happy about it, but at least he was tolerant enough to bottle it up. He was a lot more mature than his face suggested. So that was the end of it. Or so I thought. But life's never that easy.
No, Jinrei's right, Masayuki. Heroes and demon lords are fated to clash with each other, so quit holding back forever, and let's just take this guy down as soon as we can.
Bernie, usually observing from a step behind, chose this moment to get all worked up. With a sigh, I pondered how I'd calm him down.
If you won't do it,
Bernie continued as he began casting a spell.
Then I will.
Cut me a break, I thought. Then things got serious.
Holy field.
You're kidding me, I almost caught myself yelling. That spell was extremely tough to handle, much less solo. I knew Bernie was an otherworlder and probably decent at magic, but I didn't think he held sway over that kind of advanced holy stuff. Like, was he even serious?
Murderous intent detected. The subject Bernie as an enemy.
Then I finally realized what was going on. I thought it was impossible. I kept trying to believe that I was worrying too much about it. But the enemy was right here, in front of me, the whole time. And then someone moved even faster than I did. There was a clear, high-pitched teeing. It was caused by the collision between Benimaru's sword and Bernie's blade of light.
Bernie, what are? You can fight with a sword?
Jinrai was evidently surprised. It must have been the first time Bernie wielded a sword in front of Jinrai and the others, which meant he had been hiding it from his supposed friends for who knows how long.
I'm not stupid enough to reveal my hand that easily.
The look on his face said it all to me. If he was gonna do this, he wanted to throw every skill he had toward the effort.
Damn it, so you tricked both me and Masayuki?
Tricked? Stop making it sound so mean. I just used you to get closer to the Demon Lord.
You used us?
Yeah, Masayuki was a helpful connection. Thanks to him, I've been granted a golden opportunity. Much appreciated.
He was crossing swords with Benimaru, but Bernie was chatting with Jinrai like they were chilling at the bar. I was listening in as well, so maybe I shouldn't talk, but it looked like he was hiding one hell of a lot of skill.
Benimaru, let me help you.
No, I'll take care of him. Keep a close eye on our surroundings, Sir Rimuru.
I was about to join the fray, but Benimaru stopped me. Trusting him to his word, I stepped up my vigilance. Even in the midst of this, Bernie and Jinrai kept talking.
Masayuki was just a connection to you? Don't give me that crap.
Come on, like you never thought of it that way. You know he's really not strong at all, right? He's just bluffing his way through life.
That made the blood drain from Masayuki's face. Oops. Busted. But I probably shouldn't joke, because this was a life or death situation for him. Then Jinrai surprised me all over again.
Well, so what? I don't care if he's bluffing or not. Masayuki's an incredible man. He's never failed us, not even once.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shout out to the new members of AnimeKouhai supporters: Pratik Bandari, Ara Dare, Raymar Castalas, Von Joseph, Faiz Mansour, Dariha Skirte, Jackson Early, John Jerome Valdenaro, Esona Daka, George Hage. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.